What's going on, everybody?
I'm Shaky.
I'm Marcus, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to analyze deals. This is the second part to a two-part series on analyzing deals, so make sure you watch the first part. If you don't, you're not going to know what the heck's going on. And this one is going to be one of those videos where you're really going to have to pay attention and kind of look at the numbers, because this is the meat and potatoes of how to do your deals. You get paid when you buy, and this is actually teaching you how to buy correctly, so make sure you pay attention.
If you like the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Hit that like button. Any questions you have, make sure you comment down below. We get to all of our comments, so Let's get to it.
Alright guys, this is part 2 of the two-part series where we're analyzing deals. On the first part, we were talking about how to calculate your ARV. On this part, we're going to be talking about how to analyze the deals using the ARV. So let's get to it.
All right. So as Marcus just said, on the first video, we discussed figuring out how to calculate ARV like an investor, and all the things highlighted is what we discussed. So I advise you all to go back and take a look at our previous video. In this video, we're going to be talking about actually analyzing that deal using the ARV that we calculated in that previous video. So let's first look at property acquisition costs. For the property that we were discussing in the last video, the acquisition cost for that is $104,000. And this property in particular was sent to us by another wholesaler. We actually did not end up obtaining this property. He ended up selling it to another cash buyer, I'm guessing. I don't know. But I just wanted to use that as an example because I feel like the numbers were really good to use as an example for our video. So the property, we would have been buying the property from him for $104,000. The estimated repairs were $30,000, and this came from a contractor that had came out and analyzed the deal as well. Estimated closing costs, and I put estimated for a reason, but I'll discuss that in a little bit. The estimated closing cost that I calculated is around $8,000, and this includes 3 points for our lender. Our lender in particular charges us 3% interest at closing when we buy the property. And estimated, I'm saying that because it can depend on a couple of things. It can depend on what title company you're closing with. Title companies, they charge you different amounts depending on, what title company it is and really who you are sometimes. If you have a good relationship, sometimes
you keep closing deals, that cost goes down.
It goes down a little bit, as well as if the property has a HOA. That determines your closing costs. And also, I'll get to this in the end of the video, but if your lender requires you to pay insurance at closing, sometimes the title company knows that and you'll have to pay that at the closing table. Us in particular, we're able to pay ours like we need to pay it when we're buying a property, but we don't have to pay it with those closing costs. And I'll get to that in the video. Okay, so realty fees is something else we take a look at when we're analyzing the deal, because we want to know how much we'll be paying, how much will be coming out of that bottom line number when we're looking at how much we're going to be making. And for this particular one, it's about $12,000 actually, when you're looking at the amount you'll be selling for, which is the ARV. The ARV was $199,925. Did I say it right?
Yeah. $199,925.
Yeah. So what I done is I just calculated 6% of that, because you'll be paying your realtor 3% as well as whoever's buying the property, that realtor 3% as well. So for a total of 6% of the entire amount that you're selling for. So let's I want to take you all to a couple of the screenshots I went through during the last video to kind of show how I came up with some of these numbers. So the property, I'll pull up this. The property is about 2257 square feet, and we always take the average amount. What we done was we calculated, we went through and looked at properties in the neighborhood, and this pulled up properties that are very comparable to that one. And we want to take a look at the average amount is sold per square foot, which is 88.58, and we want to multiply it by the square footage of the actual property that we're looking at. So, which is 2257. So that's how I came up with this number here for the ARV, the 199,925. And then I want to take you all to look at the days on the market for the properties that we're looking at. Actually, we can look at them here. Looks like 43 days on the market for one, 21 days, 33, and 59. We kind of take this with a grain of salt, actually, for us, because we always like to make our property look way better than anything else on the market without like overly updating it. If that makes
cost too.
Yes, if that makes sense. So these just means that we can sell ours earlier than 21 days. Really. So not to brag, but usually our properties that we sell don't stay on the market any more than about 3 days on average. But usually we have multiple offers on the first day.
Yep.
So we usually go over the asking price as well. So just taking a look at the expenses that we have up here, we have the property acquisition cost for 104, plus the $30,000 in repairs, $8,000 in closing costs, and right at $12,000 for realtor fees. And so that brings us, actually, that was incorrect. That was incorrect on my part. Sorry. Crap, sorry. Let's just do it here. It's fine. I think I took that as $3,000 before instead of $30,000. Forgot to change it on here, but okay. Good. That leaves us with 153. All right, so brings us up with a total expense of $153,995, right at $154,000. So with the total ARV, the total amount that you want to sell the property for being right at $200,199,925 minus that $153,995, you come up with a gross profit of $45,930.
Yep.
And so that's a pretty nice profit for a flip. And actually, that's like the ideal deal you want to do, because when you look at this ARV of 199,925, 70% of that is $139,947. That is actually under the amount. That is actually under the 104 plus the $30,000 in repairs. You actually have about a $5,000 threshold, wiggle room. So your lender will most likely lend you the 139,000, close to 140,000, and your cost for acquisition is only 104, plus you're looking at $30,000 in repairs. This is a great deal for anyone. That's why I wanted it so bad. But it was a lot of competition for it, and it's a wholesale that I've not particularly worked with before, so I'm guessing he went with one of his usual buyers. But it's all a part of the game.
So I think what out of pocket expenses is like your closing costs and then your draws. So we didn't have to come out of pocket $154,000 to make the 45.
Yeah.
We actually came out with, we would have come out with just the closing costs and the draws, and that's it.
And I want to talk about the draws. So let's just highlight. Let's highlight in red what you'll be. Oh, that's not really red. Yes, it is. What you'll be coming out of pocket with. So this $8,000 will actually come out of your pocket, as well as holding costs, and that's what Marcus is talking about. Draws.
Yeah.
So
So on a $30,000 rehab, our lender would typically charge. Well, we will have to come out of pocket the first 10,000 because he usually splits them up in threes.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll come out of pocket 10,000, and then once he sends somebody out to assess it and see if we've actually done $10,000 worth of work, then he'll give us that $10,000 back, and then it's a rotating process until the end, and then we end up actually getting that $10,000 back in the end.
Yeah, and also holding costs too.
Yeah.
Like, we typically don't hold on to our deals any more than about 2 months at most. But sometimes, just depending on the deal, days on the market, sometimes you may have to hold on to them, 3-4 months. And so that holding cost, you're going to have to pay interest to your lender or whoever lends you the money, if you're using a hard money lender or a private lender, just depending on what terms you have. So our terms for our lender is about 12%, a little high, but we have a really close relationship with him. So, and we don't hold on to properties long, so we don't mind paying it. It's like negligible to us, that amount. So we would be looking at what? About $1,400 a month. So let's just say 2 months, we're looking at about $2,800 subtracted from this $45,000. So
and that's why we said gross profit, because you still got to add in things like that.
And insurance, just depending on what insurance company you use. We use investor-friendly insurance companies, and we do a 6-month policy. And we're usually paying somewhere, because we usually like to stay with properties that are below the 250 threshold. So we're usually paying about $1,500 for our policies, if that, and we get the difference back. Say if we're holding on to the property 2 months, they give us the 4-month difference back once we close.
So that $45,000, once you calculate everything that we have to do, is more like
$40,000. Yeah.
And like I said, the $10,000 draws, yes, you have to come out of your pocket initially, but in the end, you get that right back. So
because
if you don't have it,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I guess if you don't have it up front, you have to become resourceful like we did in our very first video that we uploaded. Make sure you check that one out, because we did not have that $10,000 at first.
Because we didn't know about it.
Yeah, so we just phoned a friend, and then in the end, we gave that money back, and it was all good. So in the end, a deal like this, we'll be making about $40,000, and technically speaking, we would only have to come out of pocket this $8,000, and then like $1,500 and $2,800. That's what, like 11,000, 12,000, something like that, to make 40.
Let's just even though we're engineers by degree, but let's just go ahead. And then let's just do 1,500. So about $12,000 out of pocket
to make 45. Well, to make 40,000.
And plus, I mean,
so that's I'll do that all day long.
And the reason why we're making these videos because again, we did not know about that $10,000 that we're going to have to come out for the first draw, as well as we had been doing deals, and we were thinking we were making like huge profits, but we were not initially. We were thinking we were going to be making huge profits, but in the end, we were like, why are we not making as much as we thought?
So we thought that check that we received at closing was like the net profit. We didn't really calculate all this stuff. Still pretty good profits, because like we're averaging some like 55,000 a deal
net.
Net. That's after taking all of this stuff out now. So that's still a substantial amount to say you only working on something for 2 months.
But when you're looking at a deal initially, and you're looking at like you're not calculating in this $12,000 plus this $8,000, like that's like $20,000 you're missing. So we're thinking like, man, this is about to be huge. I mean, it's great. We were only looking at the acquisition costs minus repairs. We were not looking at, hey, this $8,000 coming out of our pocket, so we need to take a look at that, as well as this $12,000 we're going to have to pay in the end for realtor fees. Our first deal, we did not use a realtor, so we only paid 3%, which is for the buyer's realtor. But using our realtor that we use now is actually great, because that's how we're able to do so low days on the market in combination with the rehabs that we do, because she's just awesome. She does a lot of marketing for us even before we finish the deal. So using a realtor for us is great. Some investors choose not to, but for us it's just the better option. So again, this is the way we analyze our deals. Everyone may do it differently, but we feel like this is the best way for us, and it gives us realistic figures in the end. So
like I said, we're gonna keep pumping these videos out. I challenge you to find somebody that's gonna break things down like this. We're doing it because we wish someone would have kind of set us down and taught us these things. All we see is big numbers like this, and you don't really see what all goes into it.
No, you probably see this plus this 20.
Oh well, yeah. So so you think you're making 65,000 when you're actually making 45. And so we didn't want to give anyone false expectations. Like I said, this is something that we wish someone would have did for us, so we feel obligated to do it for you. So we hope you consider that when you're looking at that subscribe button and thinking if you want to press it or not. But yeah, that's the goal. We're just trying to give you guys as much information as we can, so when you're out here doing these deals, you're not kind of in the dark and just trying to figure it all out on your own. So, but yeah, that's it. That's it for us. Like I said, hope you press that subscribe button, comment on anything that you didn't quite understand, or if there's, if you have questions, we can make a video on you guys' questions. And follow us on Instagram. We get a lot of DMs and stuff, so we try to help us out. We try to help people out through DMs, and our social media links are in all of the descriptions, video descriptions, so you can just click them and follow us. We're working on a Facebook group too, so that we can kind of help people, and then once we help so many people, then people start helping other people and kind of get this community thing going. So we're working on having that up within the next week or so, which is going to be great for us, trying to keep helping you guys. So that's it for this one. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.